Hello, everybody, and welcome back again to Think Tank Sports. Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen. Check us out on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify for podcasters, formerly Anchor, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're on all those delivery systems for you to indulge your listening ears. And watch us on YouTube as we continue our YouTube journey here at Think Tank Sports. And we continue our baseball preview and moving out to what a bunch of people call the best coast, the West Coast. And bring in our good friend Jeremy to talk Dodgers and the NL West. And so, Jeremy, how the heck are you this evening?
Good. This time I can't come in bragging about the weather because I think your weather might be better than ours right now. So
Nice.
That's saying something.
Nice. But we're happy to have you and talk some NL West as we get into it. It's Tuesday, the 28th. We've got full season starting 2 days from now. Every team is playing on Thursday, March 30th.
My granddaughter says hello, as you can hear in the background.
Oh yeah, we got a little Skylar going in the background.
Nice.
Sorry. No, it's fine. It's
so
life.
Jeremy, let's start there with the Dodgers. This is not a Dodger team that actually improved, in my opinion, in the offseason, which is rare, lightly to say. We all know, the Turner twins left. Bellinger in center is gone. Lux got hurt, unfortunately. I think you've had a lot of turnover in the bullpen as well. What's the attitude towards that, if you will, lack of improvement this year? Has it been noticed out there? And do you think I'm accurate in what I'm saying?
Yeah, we also lost Goslin. He got that ankle injury a couple of weeks ago, so I think he's out a couple months. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Luck's going down. I was actually out at spring training that weekend when it happened, so that was a big hit because he was the heir apparent. So trying to fill him with some role players now. I think the one thing that we have going for us is the rotation. I think we're going to have a really strong rotation. Kershaw, I don't know if you've seen him in spring training. He just looks sharp. He pitched the other night against the Angels, had a good matchup with Trout, and struck him out. So I think Kershaw, knowing that his career is winding down, I think he's got an extra flame underneath him to send out his career on a high note. So I think he's going good. Urias should still be good. We're going to get May back after that injury. Syndergaard being added is going to help us out as well. I think our rotation is going to be good. The bullpen, again, we've talked about this over the years. That's where we can get ourselves in trouble, is that bullpen. So as long as the bullpen can figure it out, I think they're still trying to figure out exactly who's going to come in 1, 2, 3 closer. That's still not.
Well, we wanted to ask you that because we were looking at all the depth charts today, and depending on which one you look at, I've seen anything from Shelby Miller to Evan Phillips to, how do you say, the Gratterall or Graterall?
Gratterall.
So, what do you think? Who should be the closer, or do they give a leaning one way or the other?
I think Roberts is going to do what he typically does. He's going to pick somebody and go with them. And then if that doesn't work, then he'll start mixing it up. So, Gratterall, I think, might be the one that's been here the longest. So might have the more familiarity with some of the other teams and the opponents. And then obviously working with Barnes back there and Smith. So that might be good. But, Roberts has been known to do that. If someone's just not working out, he'll sit him down and put somebody else. He did even with Jensen back in the day when he was struggling. He'd take him out to let him see if he can figure out what's going on in his head, because a lot of time it gets to be mental more than the physical. So it'll be interesting if Roberts follows that path.
I like Roberts' philosophy, and you have a defined role, especially in the bullpen. And, if you're not doing your job, we'll move you out, but we're not going to mix and match. And today it might be so-and-so. And, the poo-poo platters, I refer to as the Yankees, are just running everybody they can out there, but not really being effective.
If our rotation,
that's good.
Go ahead. Yeah, if our rotation can do their job, get a good 5, 6, 7 innings, we should be good. But if we're bouncing out in the second, third, fourth inning, I think that's where we're gonna get ourselves in trouble if we go through a few arms like you're saying, and then we'll get in trouble. But if Kershaw and them can do a good 6, 7 innings, and then bullpen just has to do a couple, I think we'll be in a much better position.
Yeah, I think your point too about getting Dustin May back,
Yep.
that was just huge. That was a huge injury early on last year. To have him back and healthy, I mean, he's just got such dominating stuff that that could really, really help the rotation. So, fingers crossed. I think with any team, it's the injuries and can they stay healthy, and but that that's the case with every team. And so the Dodgers are no different as far as that goes. What about the offense, Jeremy? Obviously losing, like Mike mentioned, Trey Turner, and then obviously fan favorite Justin Turner. The offense is going to look a little bit different. And so how do you see that? I mean, they still have a lot of depth, but how do you
Yeah.
see that being a little bit different?
I think I say this every year. I'm not too worried about our offense. I think we're going to score runs as long as the arms do their thing. We still got Muncy, Smith, Freeman, Betts. We picked up JD. So I think we're doing okay. The rookie that we got, Miguel Vargas, he's coming along really well. He hit a home run. I think it was last night, and he was talking after because it was on a 2-strike count. And he said usually he's defensive, and that the hitting coaches have really been working with him. Like, don't be that defensive, just still hit the way you hit. And he hit a home run. So I think he's coming along a lot. Obviously, with the Lux injury, he's coming along a lot faster. But as I've said before, the offense isn't a worry for me because we're going to score our 4 to 5 runs a game. It's just those arms. And Freeman, I mean, he's already coming into that fan favorite even after his first year, and everybody loves Betts. And Muncy's been around for a while. So I think that core, even though the Turners left and Bellinger and Seager a couple of years ago, I think the core guys that we have are still going to keep that bar high and keep the younger guys and even the new guys like JD be like, hey, this is the bar. We still score a bunch of runs. So
Great. I think those top 4 boppers, like you said, can be matched up with just about anybody, except maybe the Padres, who we'll get to in a few minutes. But talk to us about center field. I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with the baseball career of James Outman. So can you enlighten us a little bit about him and what can we expect?
not any more than that, but what we've seen in spring training is that he's doing a good job and holding it down out there. So we'll see. I mean, Bellinger, it's a loss because he, you've seen all the spectacular plays he's made out there. He had a lot of range, good glove, especially going up against the wall and taking away some home runs. So I mean, it's going to be a big glove and some big shoes to fill. But so far from spring training, looks like he's got some promise out there. And whenever you have Betts out there, he makes everybody better just by being out there, and he'll get to some balls that maybe the center fielder won't get to just because of his range and his athleticism. So I think he might make up some of that difference as well.
He'll give him the old Kelly leap from the Bad News Bears. He gets everything.
Yep.
But Dave, that's a reference that might be even too old for you, but I don't know.
Yeah, right over my head.
Okay, Kelly Leak. That's fine. The Dodgers have some stiff competition. I mean, they always do. But I already mentioned the Padres, Jeremy. Tell us what you think about the rest of the division, just as an overview before we'll get into the over-unders in a minute. But, what are the Dodgers facing this year as far as teams in their division?
Yeah. I hope my salty nuts crew doesn't get too mad at me, but I actually think the Padres are going to win the division just with the money they spent, locking up Machado, when they get Tatis back. I mean, if you look at last year, if Tatis was there, the difference it would have made, not just in the record, but where they bowed out in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I really think between that and then having Soto now, like that lineup is really deep. They've got some good pitching. Again, it's just going to be making sure that they don't get that injury bug. But I think this could be the year that they can win the division because they've been nipping at our heels, got us in the playoffs. So yeah, I think for as much of a diehard Dodger fan I am, we're still gonna make the playoffs because we'll get one of those wild cards. But I think this could be the Padres if it lines up without injury and just looking at their lineup and their arms and just the momentum. And I think probably if you're looking at like the big brother, little brother, they've finally beat the big brother a couple of times that now they've got the confidence where before we've talked about it. It's like, yeah, we know they're down there in San Diego, but we don't worry about them. Now we got to worry about them.
Yeah. And they definitely had a couple of, and we talked about this last year, there was a couple of, big series wins that they had against the Dodgers. But, definitely some things, looking at, so Xander Bogaerts comes over, and you hope that he fits right in. Tatis has got 20 more games left on his PED suspension, then he'll be back. Interestingly, he had 2 surgeries on his left wrist and 1 on his left shoulder since he has been out. So it'll be interesting to see how he bounces back from that, and then also not playing for so long. But I agree with you, if they're healthy, and we haven't even talked about Juan Soto.
Yeah. Or Snell or Musgrave or Darvish, and Darvish looked really good in the World Baseball Classic. So yeah, they're same thing we always talk about. As long as their arms are good and that big lineup's hitting, they, as much as it pains me to say it, they should probably win the division.
I mean, they're loaded, obviously. I just feel, especially Tatis, is very overrated in my opinion. I guess maybe it's because I'm a old, middle-aged, conservative white guy, but
no,
he
that
does
has
a
nothing
lot
to do with it.
celebrating. What?
I said no, that has nothing to do with it.
Right. A lot of celebrating for not having won anything yet. I don't mind the flash and the excitement and all that stuff, but you haven't done anything yet. So that's I guess that's neither here nor there for this conversation. But anybody else in the division? Jeremy, Giants are really going to be down, I think. Diamondbacks are going to be sneaky good.
Yeah, but they'll still be at the bottom of the barrel. So, because think about all the times they got to play us and the Padres. It's process of elimination.
Yeah,
so, right. Somebody's got to lose those games. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see the Giants, the Rockies, or the Diamondbacks making much noise. Maybe in the beginning, there's always 1 or 2 teams that surprise you through the first 40, but once you get through there, the cream rises to the top. So yeah, I don't expect them to do much. It'll be between us and the Padres for sure coming down to the stretch.
And so for the Dodgers or anybody else in the division, what do you think a successful season looks like? Let's start with the Dodgers. When 2023 baseball season ends in October or early November, if it goes that far, what does the Dodger season have to look like for you to say, yeah, that was a good year?
Well, the Dodger fan of me is going to be World Series. That would be but just making the playoffs, being right behind the Padres, maybe Padres at, 99, 100, us at like 97, 98, like right behind them, making a good playoff run. For us as fans, it's been frustrating because we had the championship in 20, and then we've had all these great records and we've done all these runs and we haven't done anything since. So it's getting to a point where like we're building these teams. We've got these guys bringing in, the fans are there. We're supporting you. Like you need to come through in the playoffs. So yeah, I really would want them to get all the way to the World Series and hopefully win it. But at the least get that second wild card and do at least a, second, maybe championship round run into the playoffs. Okay,
very good. Before we get to the Vegas insider numbers, Dave, I want to run Jeremy through kind of what I ran you through the other podcast we did with the Yankees.
Yep.
Jeremy, I'm going to just mention some teams that ESPN put out their power rankings today for the season. You tell me just quickly, yes or no, can they win the World Series? And I'm curious about this. How many teams you think can win the World Series? So their number 1 team is the Astros. Obviously they can win, yes or no?
I don't know that Altuve, because what's Altuve out, like 2 months?
Yeah.
At least, before he can
I gotta be a Dodger fan and hate the Astros. I'm gonna say no.
You say they can't win it.
I'm gonna say no. That's more from my heart, though. That one's more from my heart.
Yep.
Padres are 2, according to ESPN.
Yes, no? Unfortunately. Yeah. See, I could pick the Padres, but not the Astros. So yes.
Braves are 3, yes or no?
Yeah, because all the noise of them in the East out there. Yeah, I think the Braves could too.
Yankees, yes or no at 4?
I'm gonna say no, and you guys are gonna hate me because I put them in the same boat as what's been going on with the Dodgers. They've been, they've had all these things going for them in the right direction. They've been trending the right way, but they're just not pulling the trigger. So yeah, I would say no. Sorry, guys. I hope I'm invited back.
No, of course. So Dodgers, we already think you already said, could they win it all?
That's more with my heart. Same as going against the Astros with my heart. The Dodgers winning is my heart.
Next 2 are going to be interesting. New York Mets listed at 6 on ESPN's power rankings. Could they win it all?
No, and I think for the same reason, they just don't seem to pull it off when it gets to that point, at least lately. So I would say no.
Philadelphia Phillies made the World Series last year. Harper's hurt. Rhys Hoskins out for the season. But still a stud pitching staff and bullpen.
I would say yes. Yes, based on the experience. You know, they were just there, and not just last year, but they've been hanging around for a couple of years. And when they get Harper back, you know, he might change. Like if they're working towards the division, that return might help them make that final push over the hill. So for them, I'll say yes.
Okay. Real quick, we'll finish it up real here with this. Blue Jays, Cardinals, or Mariners. Any of those three. Pick one of those three.
That I have to pick one?
Yes.
To win the World Series.
That could win the World Series of those three.
I'll go with the Cardinals.
Okay. Do you think if every team's available, do you think they could win it all?
I mean, I know they're projecting a lot of things to win their division. So
yeah, they got Goldschmidt and Arenado.
Yep. You know, and then they added somebody else too, right?
They're always adding.
Yeah, because I know they've got a third person there too now. But yeah, if they can win that division and have
the catcher, kid from the Cubs.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Wilson Contreras.
There you go. Right. Yeah. I think if they win their division and get on a roll in the playoffs and have home field, I think they could be another one.
Okay. So Dave, what do we got? 4 or 5 teams you think can win it? Maybe 6?
Yeah.
Any other team, Jeremy, that I didn't mention? Anyone else in the field? I didn't mention the Rays, the Guardians, the Orioles, the Brewers, Twins, Angels, Rangers.
Nah. Especially nobody from the American League West for sure.
Okay. All right. I was just curious. I'm asking everyone. I'm really curious how many teams people feel have an honest opportunity to win this year. I think you're right about there. I'm a little more optimistic than you, and Dave's right between us, so we're right there.
Yeah, and I heard the Mad Dog say today or yesterday we're talking about it. Like he felt similarly. Like there's really like 6-7 teams that could win. Yep. You know, just the rest of them are just not. Mad Dog said
it, we know we're doing well.
So
we're with
on
the new
par.
Scheduling, that'll be fun with everybody playing everybody this year. Right. So when you get to the World Series, whoever gets there would have already played. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. Dave, run us through these over-unders and we'll get Jeremy back to work.
Yeah. So NL West, they have the Dodgers tops there at 96.5 wins. So what say you, Jeremy? Is that, I mean, I think you're
111 last year,
111 wins last year, 96.5 this year. And you're saying the Padres are going to win. So are you going under 96.5?
What do they have the Padres at?
93.5.
All right. So I'll put the Dodgers under and the Padres over.
Yep.
I mean,
I think it's going to be like 99, 100 for the Padres and like 95, 96, 97 for the Dodgers.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about like a 3-game flip. Mm-hmm. You know, they're still playing each other a lot. It's a couple extra wins over the course of the season against them. And that could separate them.
I'll take the over, Dave, not that you asked, even though it's partially my podcast.
Just partially. You're taking the over for which team? For the Dodgers?
For the Dodgers, and under on the Padres. They got to show me. I don't believe it yet. They've spent the money. They've done the diligence. I don't see it yet. Big 4 is excellent. What are the other 5 going to do?
Yeah, they're definitely the trendy pick, Jeremy. As far as looking at what team is going to
just texted they are not happy. Not happy with Jeremy.
No, at least none of your fans can say I'm a homer now. None of them can say I'm a homer.
Yep, and you trashed our Yankees too. So you're not even trying to suck up to the hosts here.
Are you starting your own podcast?
I do not have time.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go, buddy.
Yep. So bottom 3, San Francisco, the Giants at 81.5.
Didn't they just
Um,
win like 110 games a year and a half ago?
Yeah,
I
2
mean,
years ago.
What's happening?
Because they're the
with this?
Giants, I'm gonna say under.
Less than 500 for the Giants.
That's the Dodger
Okay.
fan in me.
Yeah, but I mean that could be 80. They could be 80
Right.
and 82.
I'll take the slight over, Dave. Thank it's again for asking.
Yeah, well, it's your podcast too. Arizona seems to be trendy, but Vegas Insider has them at 74.5.
I'll do the over on that. I think they can win a couple more games.
Yeah, it certainly feels like that they have the potential to trend up a little bit. I tend to agree with you. What do you say, Mike?
Oh, Dave, thank you. That was a very professional transition. I say over. I'm bullish on them. I like Zach Gallen a lot. Probably 4th or 5th in Cy Young voting last year, in my opinion. I think they're going to be better than people think, around 500. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and like we talked about with the Dodgers and Padres beating up on each other, the Diamondbacks are also going to play the Rockies and the Giants a lot. So there's a few wins right there in the division. So
yep.
Right. And when you have to play the AL West, not exactly murderers wrote the bottom of that one either.
No, nope. And finally,
Dave, this number is offensive to me.
The Rockies?
Yeah.
65.5. Why?
65.5.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
is that really the number?
Yeah, 65.5. Yep.
See, it's offensive, right?
That's crazy.
They're professional baseball players. These are pros we're talking about.
That's not the lowest.
I know.
It's not the lowest.
I'm gonna
the lowest starts with a 5, right?
Yes.
Any guess, Jeremy, who that is?
I'm gonna take the under, and if it happens, they have to get regulated.
No, nice regulation. So somebody's at 59.5, Jeremy. Who the lowest over under? They're in the American League. I'll give you a hint.
Oh, there's one in the National League too.
Oh, is there?
Yep, same number, 59.5.
Oh, geez. Okay. I didn't see that. I mean, I just did.
I can't even. National League, would it be? Yeah, I don't know.
Juan Soto's former home.
Oh, the Nationals. Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that.
59.5.
What's
Or
the
Davey
American one?
Martinez. Yeah.
The American one
League
is
right in your backyard.
yeah, the Oakland A's.
Oh, yeah. It's the stadium too, man. They need to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do a whole podcast on that.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Oh, could we ever?
absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
So,
But
Dave,
yeah.
wrap us up here, buddy.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, thanks as always for coming on, talking Dodgers, talking your second favorite team now, the San Diego Padres. We'll keep a close eye on that and make sure to call you out should they not do well, or pat you on the back should they win the division, as you have so graciously predicted that they will. But this has been, another great podcast, another baseball preview here, National League West. Much appreciated again to Jeremy, and of course to Mike. We got to acknowledge him every now and again, otherwise he gets salty, as we heard earlier. But yeah, so yeah, continue to listen. We'll have some more baseball podcasts this week. We still have some divisions to talk about, some teams to talk about. Interact with us on social media. Mike mentioned we have that Twitter poll out there about Yankees wins and losses, or wins, and all that kind of stuff. So check that out on Twitter. Listen to us wherever you're listening. Watch us on YouTube here at Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen as we strive for 5. See you, everybody.